Alrighty, it's kind of later in the evening in Seattle. We're in a hotel, and close by there's another hotel.
Executive hotel.
Executive hotel, and somebody just flushed the toilet, and somebody else is like, woohoo! It was strange. So anyway, there's just one part of the story of today I wanna fill in. We didn't really do a final day video, and Sue's sort of crashed out here, so I'm just gonna do a quick wrap up and hitting one sort of important point. So, of course, we came across from Victoria, hopped on the ferry from Victoria. So we're above or in the ferry, I should say. Still Victoria here. But this is going to Port Angeles. And we just found out, by the way, that there was a ferry that went right to Seattle. But we're taking this one. And then we're riding to Seattle. But yeah, very cool. Oh, that's a shame ferry too. Things went well there. I think I have some GoPro stuff to kind of fill in the story there. That brought us to Port Angeles. Where we dealt with our phones, got our phones all sorted out again so they would work in America. And from there we started on our way to Seattle. We were getting conflicting information. We weren't even sure what we wanted to do. We hadn't planned very well for today. So at any rate, what we ended up doing is going to, well, we grabbed some lunch on the way to Seattle, and then we opted to take the ferry that went from Bainbridge Island to Seattle. And that turned out pretty well, although the ferry had some issue and was a little late and whatever. So, thought I'd give you a slightly different perspective on things. We are waiting in line to get on the ferry. We actually theoretically made the 350 ferry or whatever. They said, yeah, we'll be able to put you on, which was fantastic. Then we get to the front of this motorcycle line here, and apparently there's some sort of issue that's taking them a lot longer to unload and load the people traveling on foot. Meanwhile, the rest of us are waiting. So, although we kind of made it, the ferry ain't leaving yet. chances are it'll probably leave around 4:30, which is the one we thought we were going to make. So, all good. That's my report from the saddle. But we thought we were being so smart. Whoops. And we kind of were, in the sense that we took the ferry because we wanted to go right into downtown Seattle, and we knew the ferry would let us off very close to where that was, and so we booked a place there. And we were feeling, this is always the problem when you start feeling like you're so smart, you know you're just going to be brought down to peg. And so yeah, we thought, just in town. We were looking at a GPS. Oh, it's like 3 blocks this way, 2 blocks that way, and we're at our hotel, and that's fantastic, and everything will go smooth. And as we were getting off the ferry, and I've got some of this on the GoPro, I didn't get all of it, but things changed. And specifically, man, Seattle, at least from the ferry part, is on a crazy hill, like a crazy, like I'm talking, we were going up, and each block, it felt like 45 degrees or more that we were going up this just crazy angle. That's hard on any motorcycle. Well, it's hard with any standard vehicle where you have to, really hold the brake until your clutch is grabbing, and then you go forward. You got to find that perfect friction point, and when it's on an angle like that, it's really kind of critical because it's going to roll right back if you don't get that right. And this was like block after block after block with big bikes weighed down doing this, and we didn't expect it at all. And so we fought through it. Thought we got to the hotel, but then when we got there wasn't really any, like, I was expecting a place where you could pull off the road into the, a little whatever
First of all, it was right after the turn, and we had no idea it was a one-way
Yeah,
street.
we had to take a turn. There's one-way
You had to
streets
be way to the
everywhere,
left.
which make it a challenge here. And yeah, so we took this, and we had to get way to the left. We found out eventually there's a lane way to the left that is the hotel lane where you can park. It just looked like a lane on the street to us. It didn't look like anything special. So anyway, we went around. And then it got complicated because I was getting frustrated because it was so challenging to do these uphills that we were starting to go downhill again now, to come around again. And I was like, it reminded me of the Champs-Élysées when we were in Paris. We didn't have our motorbikes. We had a car. But it's like I tackled the Champs-Élysées, which was crazy, got off where I wanted to get off, and I felt so proud of myself until we were suddenly back on it again. Back, that's what it was like here. We got up all the hills, and then we were going back down, and so I pulled over for a moment when we we're coming back down a few blocks over, mostly because I was hoping to park the bike and just kind of get off and walk and figure out where the heck we were going and what we were doing. But I can't remember why. I mean, Sue was there, and she said, "You want me to just lead?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Yeah, so let's do that." And so we did that. And then we went down one street, and she went right. The problem was it was a one-way street left. And so,
That was fun.
and she went with zest. She went quite far. There was no traffic coming, but then at some point she realized there was and I couldn't go down a one-way street behind her, and so anyway, I watched her, and she went into the bike lane and scooted away. And I'm like, do I go into the bike lane now? And so she went right, and I went left, which was just a little extra tricky because we got split up in the middle of an urban environment. We both knew the same place we were going to. And so my hope was, well, I'll go around these sort of blocks and I'll try to come back, and I'm hoping that she finds her way back as well. And so I did my little negotiation, and when I got back to the hotel, sort of two good things. One, she was there, and two, she had her bike parked, so that made it obvious to me where I had to go as well. And so yeah, it was where we were before. We just didn't know to get over to the left, and that lane was available for us to park in. And so we parked our bikes.
Well, it was right on the corner. We couldn't be expecting all that. It should have taken us up Spring Street.
It was really, it was probably only a half an hour of time, but it was really stressful because it really was challenging. It really pushed us to get that brake point, that clutch release point exactly right, over and over and over and over again, and it got better. I mean, that's how it works, right?
The Rockies weren't that challenging.
Yeah, the Rockies weren't as challenging. My goodness, this was really
high streets.
Seattle has really sharp streets. So anyway, we then checked in and such, but it still wasn't quite done. We then had to park our bikes, and they have so-called valet parking, but of course you can't just give somebody your motorcycle to park, so you have to park it. So the valet took the car, and we had to follow him to the parking lot, which of course was down the hill 2 blocks, around and up the hill again. But anyway, we figured it out. I was getting better and better at it by then. Plus we'd unloaded some bags at the hotel, so it was fine. We got to the parking lot. My goodness, we thought the day was going, smoothly, and then suddenly we just got hit. And then it's just one of these things when you're doing this, you just never know when the challenge is going to come. And when it does, you just got to be ready to kind of take it on, and that was a tough one. So anyway, after that, we checked in and we went out to Seattle, found some cool areas. All right, Susan and I on another urban hike, and we're in Seattle. We obviously did no research on Seattle as the dramatic hills. You'll hear that story later. But that was crazy. And we just been walking around and we found this, I don't know, Pike Street Market.
Ghost Alley.
Ghost Alley Express. It's this weird little part of Seattle where, I don't know, we just kind of ran into it. It's kind of the fun things that can happen when you're exploring. Not a natural
Just
one.
after walking through one of the side areas.
Yeah. So I mean, that was another bigger point we were going to make from all of our urban adventures is this fentanyl issue, this soulless human beings who seem lost to addiction. It's everywhere. Everywhere we go, it's there. There's tent cities. There's people bent over in the same posture that we see all the time. It's just really sad. We don't remember this from the East Coast swing, not like this. I think in a year, it has really gotten to a whole other level. So anyway, that was the sad part. This is the kind of interesting part. We're going to tell you about the challenging part. But for now, we're checking out Seattle. We think it's going to cure our need for any urban adventures for a while. We think we're ready to get the heck out of this city, but we're going to enjoy the city first and then get the heck out of here. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we can.
So it turns out this wall you see behind us is all used chewing gum. And it's much more than just this wall.
It's the whole street.
Yeah, and just to give you a sense.
We didn't touch it.
We have not yet contributed.
And will not.
And will not. Be safe. We knew nothing. We did no research on Seattle. What was the name of that market? Something market. So apparently it's famous. If we'd only searched online or something, Pike Street. Anyways, well, I think it's a tourist attraction in Seattle. It was pretty cool. We saw all these weird things. It's got these dark alleys, and we found all these kind of interesting spots there. Ghost Alley, yeah. And we were in like Alibi restaurant or something.
After being
we found some live music, in the rabbit hole. We found some live music with some jazz and stuff in there. That was kind of cool. That was good.
$18 drinks, which we didn't realize.
Yeah.
We're
and the evening in Seattle includes some live music. Kind of funky and cool. Just watching some people kind of make stuff up in front of us, which is kind of neat. It's a cool little bar. I don't really... $15 drinks with a tip, brought it to 36, Yep. For a Caesar. Really? But anyway, we had a good time. We listened to some music there. We moved on, had some great pizza at another place. Some good fire roasted pizza. That was good. Caprese salad. Yummy. And we're back at our hotel, which is tiny. You can hear the person flush the toilet next door. They actually literally give you earplugs.
That's right, they did. We have earplugs.
To give you a good night's sleep. Go ahead and put your earplugs in,
I should go get my earplugs.
I think we should try that, maybe. We should maybe just put our earplugs in.
Well, I'm going to have them here in case it gets noisy. It might not be. I don't want them if we don't.
It's not a bad idea, actually, because the fridges and stuff always make weird noises. I think we should try it.
Feel free.
Yeah, we might try it. Anyway, that's our report for the day.
Night.
The only thing I'll add is tomorrow we're really looking forward to really heading eastward, going back through the American part of the Rocky Mountains, I guess, Cascade Mountains at least, and having a great ride and getting the heck away from cities. We've had enough cities.
Back to national parks.
Back to national parks. So this is. Do you want to try to do
No.
peace fingers? No.
That's
No
okay.
peace fingers.
I'm not moving.